It's screwed up.
Oh, I need
Oh.
dubstep.
He's all
Hashtag
we're
Blame
live.
Kingdom.
It's screwed up.
Dubstep.
I want my dubstep. No.
So what happened? I'm just really confused.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Oh, weird. Hi. Stunner Duke's in here. Stunner Duke in the house.
All right.
Holy fire.
So I don't know. I'm gonna find a hello stream. Welcome to the stream. I'm gonna find a wait. Oh, hold on, let me mute the stream. All right. So I'm gonna find a way to goalie. I know you can hear me because you're. Oh wait, you're responding. This is weird.
Hear voices.
Can we play this video that I'm gonna put in the chat after maybe the first commercial break? And then I will go on about the show. All right, welcome to the STiKS. Today we are joined by iRage all the way from Africa, right?
South
Somewhere
Africa.
around there, yeah. It's like it's supposed to be Europe, but you know it's kind of close to Africa. So I can see where you're getting that mix up from. But yeah, from
Okay.
Europe.
It's like almost Africa.
It's kind of there.
I mean,
kind
it's
of.
close to Africa, right? Kind of.
Oh, someone
I
just
don't know.
subscribed.
Yeah.
Someone just
Who
Yeah.
subscribed?
Mob Sports.
they want those hypes. They want
Hype?
those, they want the
The
sub hype.
emotes.
Throw them some sub love
I'm
in
throwing
the
him some
chat.
pros.
Welcome to the STiKS fam. I can't see whose name it is yet. If I could look in the chat, I would. All right. So, yeah, throw them some froze. Throw them some froze for subbing. All right. So, we're joined by Rage. Where are you actually at, Rage?
I'm here in my bedroom, in Europe, in England, in the United Kingdom. Yeah, so it's a bit late here. I mean, it's 11:30, so if
We don't know what half
11.
11
quiet.
means.
Yeah, 11:30. Half
That means
11.
11:30 for everybody
Hoff.
here.
Like HOF?
It's like half of 11, which is
Snowy map.
half of
Isn't
11.
half 11
11 is actually
5
5.5.
5:30 p.m.?
So it's 5:30.
Okay, it's 5:30.
I'm really
All right.
confused.
5:30 p.m. in the EU. iRage. And we also have Fatty, of course. And sorry, Fatty, you're really important, but of course, because you're
Of course.
always on the show. And then we also have MLG Roster Mania, aka Landon,
Hey, what's good?
aka Air Flying 2K Ops, aka
Air
I don't think
Landon.
he has any other names. Air Landon?
You
Yeah,
just
he
call me
likes to go by
Landon.
that.
That's just like everyone always asks me. They're like, "What's your name?" Just call me Landon. That's all you have to do. It's pretty simple.
Lando
Oh, Calrissian. I know.
Calrissian.
Cal Roster Mania. All right.
Oh, gosh.
Roster
Such a
mania.
bad fun.
So
Just
I did
never
want to
name.
tell you guys we do have 2 new emotes. Who subbed? Where's the name? I'm looking. Mob. Thank you, Mob
Oh,
Esports. Mob Esports, thank you for subbing. Welcome to the STiKS fam. Welcome to the ability to throw froze in the chat.
And beards.
So I'm gonna add something to the. So we reached 30 subscribers. I think we're at 29 right now, and I'm gonna add some incentive to being a subscriber. So one of the first things is that I'm gonna follow anybody who subscribes to the channel. Somehow, me and Goalie are gonna figure out, the guys that are already subscribed to the channel, what your Twitter handles are. Because if you start typing them right now, there's no way I'm gonna keep track of them. So Goalie will advise me on how to get that, and then. If you subscribe to the channel from now on, I will follow you on Twitter. And Goalie and I are going to try to do either subscriber 8s or subscriber pubs or something, or ranked, something like that. I'll play that at least once a week. I'll try to play more, and then I'll tweet out for you guys when we're going to do that. I'll put a list on Twitter for all my subscribers, and then I'll let you guys know when I'm going live. So we're going to add that to the fray, and I think we have to go all the way up to like 50 to get more emotes, but I'm happy that we were able to get Fatty and Fro, Hitch and Fatty. And then there's one more that we kind of already created, but we're trying to get rid of one of them so that we can put it in there. So I'm not going to tell you guys what it is. A few people know if you ever watch Goalie stream late at night, Goalie TV at Twitch, and we talked about it, and so we'll put that in at some point. So to introduce you guys to the show, you're going to say your name, any affiliations you have in the community, and starting at Black Ops 1, who do you think is the best Call of Duty player that's been around since Black Ops 1 that's currently still playing? And I'm going to start with Landon.
Okay. Oh.
Put him on the
okay.
hot seat, and then I'm gonna go to Fatty, and then Rage, and then myself.
All right, guys. My name is Lando Calrissian, whatever you want to call me. Like I have too many names. My affiliation in the community, basically, I'm a roster mania updater. I stream, I tweet, I do all kinds of stuff. I make YouTube videos also. Need to get on that grind. But my favorite player since Black Ops 1, or the best player since Black Ops 1. That's a tough one. I'm gonna say Karma. Karma, for the fact that he's always been dominant and he's won the 2 events since then. Well,
2 rings?
not Modern Warfare 3, but still, that's my pick. I'm gonna say Karma.
Okay. Who's up next? Fatty?
My name is the Kingdom Beard, Smiting Fatty, your short fat friend from Utah. That's a little bit too long. I just changed my name on Twitter, by the way, to the Kingdom Beard. Just saying. Who is the best since... See, I have a disadvantage in this because I haven't been paying attention. I didn't know until Modern Warfare 3 that this whole thing called Call of Duty existed. So I'm going to have to go since then, and I'm going to go with Crim6. I just think he is probably one of the best all-around players in my mind. I like his desire to win, too, and Aches is right there with him. Basically, that whole squad that was... Complexity, I think you could throw in there.
All right. Rage?
Yeah, I'm Rage, also known as Alex to whoever wants to refer to me as that. I talk over video games, primarily Call of Duty. Been to a few LANs, got a few more coming up, so hopefully, you might see more of me if you want to see more of me. And then if you don't, then that's not very nice. But yeah, I kind of do some stuff with Tech as well, the organisation. Obviously went over to Champs last year representing the UK, but I try not to let that kind of interfere too much because obviously I like to be independent. I like to have kind of independent thoughts. And my best player, the thing is, I kind of have to say someone who's from Europe because I kind of feel like that's why I'm here.
I mean, you don't have to,
but I'm going to.
Okay.
I'm going to.
We already acknowledged that the EU players are like 70% of all the NA players, like in their skill ability. So, like anybody from the EU is like whoever you can think of the top. They're like a top AM in the NA.
Wow. We are now
Someone
never
quote that. Someone quote that, please. Someone quote that somehow.
I was joking, Rage. So I know you're gonna have to say EU player because you basically follow the EU scene more than the North American scene. So who would the best EU player be since Black Ops 1?
The thing is like the obvious choice would be Swanee, but personally I feel like Jerd has kind of outshone him a little bit. I mean, obviously for this game, Swanee's kind of stepped up a little bit, obviously going to America. Unfortunately, that didn't kind of work out too well. But yeah, I'm going to have to say Jerd. But then America, I'd have to say Aches. So European Jerd, American Aches.
So you guys have Aches, Karma, and what'd you say, Roster Mania? Who was yours?
I said Karma.
Aches, and who did Fatty say?
I said Crim6.
Wow. Aches, Karma, and Crim6. What even know?
Yeah.
What are the odds of that happening?
There is something about winning that makes people good.
Yeah, it usually makes you good if you win somehow.
No, because then you could say, like, whoever was sitting on the bench every time Michael Jordan got a championship is good, It's like winning is everything.
Because I know exactly what you're on about right now.
Well, think about this. All the events that like Optic has won all year. If I told you to name the top 4 players, would it be their whole roster?
Yeah.
He's scared of the green wall.
I am. I really am.
So you wouldn't say their whole roster. So it's like, just because people win doesn't mean they're individually great. So my pick, my name's Kingdom Soldier, powered by Scuff Gaming, G Fuel. Use STiKS, STiKS for 5% off Scuff, Kingdom for 10% off G Fuel, and we will be probably at some point having more of these available for you guys. So
Reppin'.
I would pick Scump. And the reason I would pick Scump is because... Whoa.
Sorry.
Whoa.
Oh, man, sorry.
That sounded like something Hitch would do. He would be like, green wall. But he can't say that anymore because he works for them. All right, so I would say Scump because Scump has been consistently a top player since he came into the game. Like he's consistently been a top player the entire time. He's got like 9 or 10 championships, and he hasn't always landed on the top teams. He's been on Optic for, but his team hasn't always been extremely successful. They've had roster changes, all that kind of stuff. But Scump has proven to be a force to be reckoned with, and still 5 games in, he right now, like in the MLG COD League, has the highest KD in, I believe, every game type. And so I would just say Scump because of his consistency over the life of all those games we just talked about. Cool?
Awesome.
All right. So we have to talk about the Super Bowl.
First, let's talk about the green wall really quick. Did you see the new green wall Scruff controller?
Yes, I retweeted it or tweeted.
I liked it.
Something.
I thought it was cool.
You'll never lose it in the dark, though. That's really bright.
Does it glow in the dark?
I wish it did. I don't think it does.
Oh, I was gonna say I'd be all over that if it glowed in the dark.
Oh. Did you say
it might give me cancer, but if it glows,
Can you really say that? Glue in the dark?
Glue in. How do you say that?
Glued in the dark.
If it glows in the dark.
Thank you.
Hey, my
Use
native
English.
language is Hick. I do pretty good not speaking Hick. Okay.
My cup is better than Rage's. It says "Amazing Woman" on it.
I can't compete with Amazing Woman.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
All right. So the Super Bowl. I'll just ask each of you guys individually. I'm sure most of you guys saw it. Even Rage, who I know stayed up till stupid hours of the night watching the Super Bowl. As someone who I live 10 minutes south of Seattle. The 12th man is very strong in these parts, and literally, like at church, I tweeted out people were wearing blue suits with green ties. People wore their jerseys to church, and that was, that's what I do on Sunday morning. So I saw all that, and then driving around town, like I went to get gas, and the guy at the gas station was like, "Yeah, blah blah, number 420 on number 4," and I said, "Yeah," and then he immediately said,
"Go Hawks."
He said, "Go Hawks! Have a great day." And I'm like, "Oh, all right, yeah, go Hawks." And everybody was talking about it. Anywhere you went, people were like excited for that game. Every parent put their kids in a Seahawks jersey because we have Blue Friday where you're supposed to wear your Seahawks jersey before we play on Sundays. And so everybody's wearing the Seahawks jerseys Friday and Saturday. Then the game happens, and then it looks like we lost. And then this miracle catch that doesn't make any sense, where it's like fumbled in the air. And,
that was crazy.
Yeah.
That's what you would see from cricket.
What the heck is cricket? Is that
Jiminy? He's talking about Jiminy cricket.
Jiminy cricket.
Is cricket related to Pinocchio? Like, what's cricket?
Cricket is a sport. It's to be honest, it's a boring sport. It's a boring sport. I'll give you that. But it just consists of a guy with a bat.
You try to hit the wickets? Is that right? You hit the wickets?
No, yeah. The bowler tries to hit wickets or like free sticks.
Wait. The game is called cricket, and you hit wickets?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when Jiminy Cricket grabs a bat and then goes after that little short dude from Willow. Or not Willow, from Star Wars.
Yeah, the whole game is just chasing a short dude around the pitch, trying to hit him with a stick.
I screwed that one up. Wicket. Hate to play on a sticky wicket.
When Jiminy Cricket grabs a bat and goes after little dude Willow.
I meant from Star Wars. Because the same guy who played Willow is the guy that played Wicket in Star Wars.
People don't know about Willow. We're old, fatty. Can't talk about that.
That's true.
True.
We are old.
What did you guys think of the game? And what was your reaction when the interception heard round the world happened? Chime in.
And any order?
Yep.
I'll go first because I probably have the least to say about it because I know very little about the game. Yeah, I think I've kind of become a hand egg expert now because like watching the game, staying up so long, kind of familiarizes myself with the game. But again, it's still not as good as soccer.
Okay.
Soccer.
What is a hand egg?
Soccer.
Well, that's it. It's like I kind of find myself stumbling across, like, flicking through the channels. You know how you do, and then I just stumbled across this random sport where they was throwing like a leather egg. So I thought I'd watch it, and then like I decided to put some money on a team. That team lost. I lost quite a bit of money on that team, but you know.
You could have given the amount.
I've noticed something though. Like I've been watching, I've been following a bunch of Europeans over the years. You guys have gambling problems.
No,
big time.
In all fairness, yeah, this is like every time I go to a LAN event or so, and all the top teams, everyone goes to the casino for whatever reason. It's kind of a thing, and I don't know why, but yeah, like all the TCMs, all the Epsilons, all the Millenniums, they all just decide to go to the casino together afterwards. And I think, to be honest, it's quite good because like rather than all the teams like not hanging out with each other, it kind of like the whole European teams like hangs out together, so it's kind of more social.
That's cool.
Throw some froze at Zuwala in the chat for subbing. Welcome to the STiKS fam. So, I noticed that because Gfinity is always by a casino, right?
You say that like it's planned.
It's
but I think it's
planned.
kind of
It's just like UMG being by the like cheerleader conventions or whatever. I think it's intentional. Because the North American players, all they talk about is the minute they arrive, like, when are you going to the casino? I mean, it's got to be.
Yes. It's kind of convenient. I mean, like, the EGL I went to wasn't near a casino. It was kind of like in the field out somewhere in Blackpool. But yeah, the I-Series was, the hotel was connected to a casino. So that was kind of, yeah, it kind of leads to suspicion. And I believe Gfinity is. Unfortunately, haven't quite been to a Gfinity yet, so I can't really speak personally. But yeah, from what I've heard, there's always a casino nearby there as well.
Yeah, I think there is. Fatty, what was your response to the interception at the Super Bowl?
Actually, I did a Vine of it because I was like, this is going to be awesome. Marshawn Lynch is going to pound it in. And I was just like, oh my gosh. Like you can see it in the Vine. But honestly, I didn't really care who won. I'm not a big Seahawks fan. I dislike the Patriots. Like, I've just never liked them, even though I do like Julian Edelman and Tom Brady. I like Bobby Wagner a lot. Turbin, I love him. They're both Utah State alums. I've followed them, through their career. So, I mean, there's players on each team I like. But I would have rather Seattle won. But either way, that was probably the best Super Bowl I've ever seen. Like, I watched every single minute of it. I thought it was entertaining. It's exactly what I wanted, to be entertained throughout the whole game and go to the last second. But that being said, they should have handed it off to Marshawn Lynch. And then if you actually look at the numbers of that, though, he's been on the 1 yard line 5 times this season, right?
Mm-hmm.
In those 5 times, he's rushed twice for -1 yards, and gotten 1 touchdown, and been just no yard gains the other couple times.
But it's a Super Bowl.
But if you take the numbers,
I'm not an expert.
You know what? I'll tell you what they should have done.
The numbers from that game of Wilson's receptions were like lower than ever. Like, it was the Super Bowl.
You mean his throwing?
No, that's what I'm saying. His receptions, like the amount of completions. That's what it is. His completions, like it was. His first half was horrible. He had like 22 yards when Brady had 200 something.
But that's where I'm saying I think they should have done the read option. Why didn't they do a read option right there? Because, and even if you stuck Robert Turbin and Marshawn Lynch, fake the handoff to Lynch, do an option around the end with Turbin, you're gonna get one of those guys is gonna score. But either way,
I would have told Wilson to dive over the pile. Like, I would have been like, just dive over the middle.
Yeah. Either way,
somebody's
I want to say it was the wrong decisions. Even though it's hard to second. It's easy to second guess the coach.
Just admit it.
The thing is, is like if you have someone who's it's a running back Lynch's position, right? Is that the correct?
Yeah,
position?
that's what Lynch is.
Yeah. So from what I'm aware, he's a really good running back. So if you have a really good running back, why would you not pass it to him when he literally just needs to walk it a couple of feet and he's scored?
Well,
why am I not a coach for NFL? Why am I not an NFL coach?
Hey, isn't it like a TV show where a football coach goes and coaches soccer in the EU? That's why they were going to make it.
That would be awkward.
By the way, what's soccer? Do you mean football?
No, soccer. That thing that's played with the round ball instead of the football.
Black and white things on it. Soccer.
Yeah.
Anyway, Landon, what was your response to the Super Bowl?
Well, I was getting ready to tweet out that was the most amazing catch I've ever seen, before I could tweet it out, they threw the interception. But in the midst of doing that, I looked at my dad because my dad's not a big Patriots fan, but he likes the Patriots. And I was like letting him have it. I was like, yeah, that's the best catch I've ever seen. And then I turned around to look at the screen and then like immediately just throw it. And I was like, I don't know. It was crazy. It was probably one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. Not gonna lie. And it was second down. Like,
that's what kills me is it was second down.
It'd be different if like it was fourth down or third down, like you haven't scored or like you got moved back a little bit. Second down, like I don't know. Hand egg, man. That's crazy.
So sad. All right, so we're gonna switch over. That was depressing. I'll just tell you guys that everything is too soon. Every joke, every meme, everything for people here in Seattle is too soon. Somebody that was in like a chat that I'm in, they said something like, what did they say? I'll have to look at it maybe during the commercial. But they said something in our chat in our group. It's like a group text, and they said something about the game. They're a 49ers fan, and we make fun of them all the time. And they said something about the game, and it was like. Everybody in there was like, too soon. You know, it was the most silent evening ever. Like, you could see the depression on people's faces. Like, I went to the store that night after the game, and it was just like ghost town. I mean, it was literally like no one was on the road, and I'm like, there's no one in the McDonald's drive-thru? When does this ever happen? Not a single person.
If you would have went to the bar, though.
Oh, God, they would have been fighting each other. Then I pull up, and the lady's like, welcome to McDonald's. What can I do? Like, dang, everyone's depressed because the McDonald's people were wearing jerseys. They're dressed up. They're like ready to be like, "Go Hawks! We're giving away burgers." I mean, it was bad. Anyway, so before we go to our first commercial break, I kind of wanted to talk about the final. Oh wait, I want to shout out somebody. Breaking Bond. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. During the commercial break, I'll figure out with Goalie how we're gonna follow you guys. I see Fatty tweeting. If you tweet at him, Fatty, and me, I'll follow him from there.
Who did I tweet?
Oh, you just put @ in his name. I thought you were putting his Twitter handle in the chat. So the final rosters for champs, some of them have not been finalized. The EU qualifiers actually took place already. We're talking about those later in the show. But as the NA qualifiers come up this weekend, they gave them all the way till Friday to decide their teams. So as they're playing the last week of the COD League with these weird teams that they may not even be playing with in champs, they're also supposed to be getting ready to play online with completely different teammates. Doesn't make any sense to me. So I did want to talk to you guys briefly about the rosters that have been solidified. So the first one is FaZe Black, which is Apathy Sensor, Proofy, and Study. And what I want from you guys is if that team was, let's just say they do qualify, where do they place at champs? Like, what do you give them as a placement at champs? And I'm going to start with Landon and then go to Rage and then Fatty.
All right. Well, FaZe Black it's Apathy Sensor, Proofy, and Study. I think Study's a good player. I'm just going to go by player by player. I think Study's a good player. I just don't. He just hasn't shown me that he's deserving of playing on a team like FaZe Black, for me personally. I think he's a good player. I just don't think he's deserved it. Proof's pretty good. Sensor, we can all argue about Sensor. Apathy's a good player. For right now, I think that's a pretty good team. I want to see them play a little bit more. But for me personally, I see them maybe like top 6, maybe top 8. I'd say probably top 8, to be honest. I don't really know where to put them because it's a weird roster for me. I've never seen Proofy play with either of them.
Yeah.
I know he's played with Study occasionally, but I'm gonna say top 8, maybe around that top 8 position. I want to see how these like EU teams and all these like teams coming over do, because there's always a couple teams that are a shocking, I guess you could say. Like there was like the T1 Daughters like last year or something, and like they absolutely dominated. So I'm gonna say like top 8 probably for me. That's just my opinion though. So,
okay. Fatty.
It's hard to say. I look at this roster and to me, it just doesn't go hand in hand. Like I just don't see these guys working well with each other. The only way I see that they do good is if Proofy's on fire. I think Apathy is going to be Apathy. He's going to do well. He's going to be great. Sensor's going to be Sensor. He's not going to have a great KD, but he's going to be doing all the objective stuff. So Proofy has to not be streaky for one thing, because we found out he's just really streaky in this game.
Yeah.
Study, honestly, I haven't even paid attention to what Study's been doing since he left Envy, and I think that's because he hasn't been doing that great. I mean, can you tell me what he's done in the last couple months, like since he's been with Envy, besides be on what was it, Elevate? Like I haven't heard a thing about him, and that's not necessarily a good thing. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
He's been kind of in the low lights, the shadows. Only the shadow knows.
The shadow world.
Rage, do you have any opinion on this team?
Yeah. I think obviously Sensors is kind of a tried and tested objective player. I mean, he's obviously going to be running the objective. Study, he gets, in my opinion, a lot more flack than he deserves. I mean, I kind of think he's a good player. As weird as it sounds, I mean, like a lot of people kind of don't really rate him, but from what I've seen of him, obviously I haven't seen as much as you guys because the streams run at like 12 o'clock at night and I've kind of have to sleep. But yeah, so obviously like
excuses,
yeah, excuses. But I kind of think he's a good player. Then obviously you got Apathy, right? I mean, Apathy's a really good player. He's kind of taken off on this game. He's kind of like, he was all right in Ghosts, but Advanced Warfare just seems to click for him. He just seems to be really good at that game, and obviously as a result, he's always going to turn up, especially when he's got that little duo shit with Sensor. So he should be well, but I don't see them placing like inside the top 4, so to speak.
I agree. I think that like when I think about Apathy, I really wanted this guy to end up on a bigger team. But, you know, he said in one of his videos that he was shocked, but when he was available, when it looked like FaZe was dropping him, and he was actually hitting up other teams and they were hitting him up, like they didn't there wasn't big teams that wanted him. Like, and he doesn't know if that's a result of, because he's won championships, so he doesn't know if that's a result of like who he was playing with or what people have said about him, or like does he not do good in 8s or something. He doesn't know. He just knows that it was not the results that he wanted. He didn't have good enough teams hit him up. And the problem we're having right now with all these rosters for champs is that there's too big of a difference between the teams that are in the league and in the teams that are playing for champs. You can't even keep track of it. Like me and Goalie today, we couldn't even, there was one roster that we couldn't even name. We were like, wait, who's on? I mean, it's like, you know, and so the other, of course, problem, and I don't want to go too far into it because we can talk, everybody's been talking about Optic Nation for like the last month because they keep switching teams, but it doesn't seem to make a difference in their online play. But at LAN, they didn't see success as well. And so, right now, they've been playing with TP, Karma, Miracles, and Killa. Let me just ask real quick and just give me a quick who would win between that team and FaZe Black. Between the current Optic Nation and FaZe Black. I'll start with Rage and work backwards. Rage, Fatty, and then Landon.
To be honest, the Optic Nation squad, in my opinion, I mean, you've got Miracles, who's, you know, he's a world champion. You've got Killa, he's a world champion. In fact, to be honest, think about it, the whole team's just world champions. I was going to like break it down, but they're all world champions, and there's a reason why they're world champions, because they're good. You've got that instinctive gun to go. I mean, Killa, he's the best S&D player in the world, so obviously he's going to clutch up in those situations. So you've already got S&D ticked. I mean, S&D's two out of the 5 game modes. So if you've got someone like Killa on the team, Miracles and Killa's kind of got that duo-ship as well. So, you know, obviously they've got that chemistry. Teep has some chemistry with Karma. Karma is just a god.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, he hasn't been playing up to his full potential from what I've seen, because obviously he's not really got the right mindset. But obviously, as soon as he kind of clicks, as soon as he's happy with the team, I can imagine him to be going off once again. And then obviously Teep's Teep. Teep is just phenomenal no matter what. I really do highly rate Teep. So again, Optic Nation over FaZe any day.
Fatty?
So what's the question again?
Who wins between Optic Nation and FaZe Black on LAN?
And oh man, that's a hard one because I mean, I really like TP and Karma. I'm still undecided on what Miracles and Killa bring to the team besides, you know, a great S&D. Like Miracles goes off though. He can, but the same thing with Apathy. I mean, that's kind of Six's. I think again, it all falls to Proofy and Study. If those two can pick it up and slay, because that's what both of them are going to have to do.
Yeah,
we know Apathy's going to slay. I think that team beats, Optic Nation. But if they don't, pull a positive KD by at least 4 or 5 kills, it's Optic Nation's game to lose.
Yeah,
because I think Miracles will slay out, and I don't know about Killa, man. Like, really, if TP decides to slay or play the objective, I mean, because to me that's 2 objective players right there, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know which one you say, okay, you really got to pick it up and slay. So I think TP would probably be the better one.
Yeah.
But
so
I don't know, man.
And I'll ask Landon, I'll switch your question up a little bit. So here's the problem. FaZe and Optic are 2 completely different organizations. We're talking about both of their secondary teams, which it looks like neither one of them are going to be in the league season 2. So maybe these teams won't even exist after champs, because Optic Nation, 99.5% chance they're not going to qualify for the playoffs or the next league unless they win through qualifying at the next open event in Columbus, if that's where they're doing it, which I think they are. FaZe Black would have to qualify as well because they're currently not in the league, but Apathy and Censor are on Justice, and they're probably, because of the league spot, they're going to probably stay on Justice for the next league so they can be in the league. But Landon, do you think a team of, if it could be made, which it can't because of these 2 separate teams, but if they could just combine and say, screw the organizational piece, let's just win, let's do the best we can at champs, would Apathy, Censor, Karma, and TP be a better team than both of these teams, in your opinion?
So you said Apathy, Censor, TP, and Karma?
Like, if you got rid of Proofy, Study, Miracles, and Killa and put the other 4 together, the 2 that were looking and the 2 that were looking, right, basically.
Yeah.
Would that be a better team than the 2 that exist?
I think it's a better team than FaZe Black. I can definitely say that because I think TP and Karma are definitely 2 better players than Proofy and Study. Better than ON. I definitely think so. I know a lot of people underestimate Killa in this game. Killa's dropping some numbers.
Yeah, he's good.
And Miracles is an OBJ. It also drops numbers too. So, I know like a lot of people like to hate on Censor, but he is an OBJ. I know TP is also an OBJ. So TP would go to Slayer or something else. And Censor would definitely go to OBJ. I think so. I think the team of TP, Karma, Apathy, and Censor would be a good one. I think it definitely would beat FaZe Black. It's kind of like saying TP versus TP, Karma versus Karma, but yeah, I think that team would be better than the 2 options that they have.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it would.
But it won't happen. It's just not going to happen. It looks like Justice Pro doesn't have a COD champ squad right now. Like, I don't know how it would happen. I don't know how they would get a squad. Like, I don't know if Rick is going to pick some people up. I see that he's not in the chat today, so he can't tell us, but I don't know exactly what he's going to do. It would suck to have a team. To me, the fact that we have teams that are in the league that don't have anybody representing them for champs doesn't make any sense. How can you be in the MLG COD League and be qualifying for the playoffs, be in the top 8, and not go to COD champs, like not be represented at COD champs? That is something I think we have to fix. So the last roster is the Prophecy roster, which right now is just Bose and Ricky. And Bose put out a video today basically saying they're screwed. Like, he just said, me and Ricky have played with people, but no one wants to stick with us. Everybody's like, it's this weird thing that's happening right now in Call of Duty for champs where everybody is literally going, I don't want to commit to anything. Exactly. And what's happening is that Optic is literally sitting there going, ha 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 ha. With the exception of Patrick Price, the genius, who basically handpicked who he wanted and said, I'm going to build a team that is going to at least get top 3. And I don't think any of us would argue with that at champs, and we'll give Optic a run for their money because we're going to try to beat them in search.
Exactly.
And so I'm going to pick Parasite. I'm going to pick Enable. I'm going to pick Slasher. Even though he said he hated me, I'm going to promise him, look at my championships. I have 19. I'll win the 20th with you, and we'll walk happily to the bank. And it's hard to argue with that. So Bose and Ricky are literally left out to dry. And it's not like they're bad at this game, especially in Bose, but they're left just, all right, who do you want to get? And Bose said it today, and you could tell he regretted it. He said, well, I don't want to say that. But he said, we're going to get the scraps. Like, Bose and Ricky are going to get who's
He does
left.
good with scraps, though. Don't forget that. He does really well with pickup teams.
He does
They give us
really well
synergy.
with pickup teams. I just wonder how well he'll do at champs with a pickup team, because a lot of these teams were created that he's going to be playing against.
Well, who's left? Who's left though? I mean, I can think of Mochilla,
Burns off,
and Burns
Classic,
Boach, Classic.
I mean, I'm trying to think. I had like a tab that I made.
I mean, I imagine he's probably played with those guys and it didn't go well, but I think that could be a great team. Ricky, Bose, Mochilla, and Classic. Great team right there.
It's just all these teams, though, that are already sticking together. And I've said this like a million times, but I'm just going to keep saying it. All these teams that are sticking together have just an automatic, like, advantage over everyone else. Like, like Optic Gaming, TK, like, they are so confident in, like, the other, well, me, like, you know, being one player. I'm so confident in my 3 other teammates that we're going to win champs, that we're sticking together. And I feel like a lot of these teams that are just coming together for champs could care less. Like, you know, say we get, like, a good placing in champs. Well, I don't care. I'm not going to play with you guys anymore. Like, I feel like with Imbos and Ricky playing together, which is good. I mean, they're on Prov.
Yeah.
But them not playing with their 2 other players, which is Fears and Legal, that's huge to me, because it's like we're only here for business, which is like how it works. Mm-hmm. But it's almost like we're in it for the money. Like, we're not in it for the chemistry, which is a huge deal to me in this game. I feel like a lot of players don't take in how chemistry works. You know what I mean? So...
Well, and before we go to commercial break, I'm going to leave this on your guys' minds and on the chat's mind as well. And you guys can talk about it in the chat. Here's the issue I think exists with Optic Nation. Optic Nation has not come out and said this is who we're playing with for champs. Here's the issue. They're re-picking up 2 players that left Optic Nation, that left the Optic organization. And they're picking them back up. The conundrum that Hector is faced with is... yes, I wouldn't mind picking them up for champs, but to put them back under the Optic brand just for one event doesn't make any sense to me. And you're telling me that I understand TP and Karma, these are the best 2 guys that you can play with, but I don't necessarily want them back in the Optic organization. And so maybe you guys rename yourself something else, like, because Optic isn't going to have 2 teams in the next season. I mean, it's almost guaranteed. They lose one of their 2 matches tonight, and it's over.
Well, who's to say that MLG is going to allow 2 teams in the next season?
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't even matter. They won't win. Like,
hasn't Swanee and Proof technically still haven't left them? There hasn't been like an official announcement saying.
Yeah, because Optic
a little bit weird.
Epsilon not to officially tweet that Swanee was officially a part of their organization, because they haven't said anything.
Well, that's why they had to tweet out for champs. They didn't say for the inevitable future or like we've signed them. It's just for champs. Same as Tommy as well. Tommy still technically isn't a part of Epsilon. However, personally, I can't see him going anywhere else unless he finds another organization.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, he's just for champs. So it's their champs team. It's not their official roster. It's their champs team. So
yeah,
it's a little bit weird that he would do that. Obviously, Hex not saying you can go do your own stuff sort of thing. He's kind of keeping on to Swanee.
He's holding his cards close to his chest, and I think like Trendy HD is saying in the chat, and he's been saying it a couple times, is that he thinks it'll be Bose and Ricky. Ricky is another bring back to the organization. Ricky's a person who left Optic. He was on Optic, and he left it by choice. And it would be them bringing him back. And the sad fact is that during that season of Optic roster changes, and because Optic Nation is a team now, Optic has had a lot of people on their team. And so if they're thinking about wanting to secure something for the future, it's, you know, they're gonna have to take their chances. So you guys talk about that in the chat and say, I do potentially see Optic Nation not existing after. I think TP is the reason they still exist. I would let TP, if I were Hector, I'd say TP after champs, drop the team except for yourself and pick up who you want. And I'd let it go. All right, so we're going to go to a 60-second commercial break. We'll see you guys on the other side. We're going to talk about the COD League and let you guys know, do some predictions about the matches tonight. But we're also going to talk about the possibilities and who possibly could be eliminated this evening. There's 2 teams that might be eliminated tonight, officially, like, done, not going to make it to playoffs. And then, you know, of course, who's already in and what the odds are of the middle teams making it, like TK and Justice and those guys. So we'll see you guys in 60 seconds. Peace. All right, welcome back, guys. We were talking while we were gone. We were talking over and over and over about, if anybody wants to type the scores of the league matches that start, like the Optic and versus Optic one, because if Optic Nation loses at all this whole week, they're out officially.
Wait, are Optic playing Optic today?
Yeah, that's sad. Is that they're going to be eliminated by people that live. Well, no, nobody.
So if you're
technically, they could drop. They could like just throw the match, sort of thing.
Yeah,
because obviously
people would
Optic
accuse
Gaming.
them of that.
Yeah, but Formal had to like answer the door mid-game, and then conveniently the second game, Crimsix had to answer the door, and then conveniently the next game,
how long does it take to answer the door?
Well, like 20
like
seconds
search and destroy
5-5.
Oh, somebody's at the door, guys.
Oh no! Then just like start shooting upwards.
Yeah.
Oh no! I answered the door. It's genius. It's genius. So
my controller died.
Oh, I can't. Wait, I'm lagging out, guys.
My controller died. Genius.
This isn't CS:GO, Rage. Oh.
Was it last week that we talked about them like switching? Like.
What do you mean?
Like, Optic Gaming playing for Optic Nation. Was that last week?
I might have
full mid-season switch.
Probably the week I was gone. Oh, that would have been funny though, because they would have like evened out.
Oh yeah,
both qualified. Yeah, the problem though is that Optic Gaming is going for a record tonight. So if they win one of their matches tonight, they have the record for the most wins in any season that there's been. And so for them, it's a pretty important evening. Season. Like they don't want to throw a match. In my.
Do you think they really care about that though?
Yes.
They look forward to every time they win a map. They're like, yes.
The thing is, though, it's winning a series where they pretty much can do every night of the day because they're such a dominant squad, or it's literally living, or it's literally living in the same house with people who you've eliminated from Call of Duty, like the season. It's kind of like, do I deal with that awkwardness just for 3 games of COD? It's like. Personally, I would definitely have considered it if I was on Optic Gaming, and I probably would have spoken. I'm sure Hex has had this conversation with them before. So whatever they do, it should be interesting. But personally, I might have to go answer the door mid-game.
They're too competitive. Like, Hex told us that when Money B finished over them, they went home. They went home, and he talked about it. He clowned Nade Shot. And so I think they're too competitive. I think to let like these guys. Most of the pros that we've asked that have been on our show and on the 1v1 that we've asked about would they have Nade Shot's money or Karma's rings, a lot of them would want the championships. Like they want 19 championships like STiKS. They want that, just the pride that comes with it. Even though $200,000 comes with Karma's rings, which is good as well. But it's like Nade Shot's money is like $200,000 every 3 months. And so I think Optic tonight is going to take it to them. They might even 3-0 them. I mean.
I will be surprised if they take a map, not gonna lie.
If who? Optic Nation takes a map?
Yeah, if Optic Nation takes a map, I will legitimately be surprised.
Be like, they're being nice.
Well, didn't Gaming get 3-0'd on Friday or something like that?
They lost both of their matches on Friday, shockingly. It's kind of weird. They missed out. Weird. They can't win 40 now. They could have 40 wins, but they chose.
Dropping that 40 bomb.
So they've secured the #1 spot. They officially have the #1 seed in the playoffs. They're officially in Season 2 for sure already. They're 33-5. Denial, the second place team, is 23-13. They've secured qualification for Season 2 and the playoffs. And I think they possibly can stay in second, but it depends on how Prophecy does. Prophecy secured their spot as well. So those 3 teams are in. They're in the playoffs, and they're in the league Season 2. So this new Prophecy roster, even though it's like, I think Money B is going to stay there, because he's playing with them right now, right? This is where I get confused.
With who?
With Prophecy.
Yeah, he's playing with Prof.
So the Prophecy squad, 2 of them are going to have to stay on that team going into Season 2. I'm hoping that Imbos is one of them. Even though he's on Optic, it's weird, but so that he can have a spot in the league, because Optic Nation isn't going to have a spot, and so I don't know what else is going to happen.
Well, if Legal and Fears don't want to play with them for champs, why would they want to play with them for Season 3 or 2?
That's what I was thinking.
Was it Legal and Fears that made that decision, or was it Imbos saying, I don't want to play with you?
No, it was Legal and Fears, I believe.
Because they wanted to play with Vexed and Perplexed. I know that for a fact.
But was it? I think that they didn't want to play with Bose and Ricky, or they just wanted to play with Vex and Perplexed. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, either way, it's I don't know.
Because if they wanted to play with this other duo, and maybe they just didn't know that they weren't going to end up playing with them. So right. I think. I mean, I'd be willing to play with Money B and Ricky in an online league. I mean, I don't know. That would just be I'd be fine with it. So FaZe is 20-16, and they need 2 wins in order to secure qualification. So it's pretty sure that this little Aches team is going to qualify. Somebody said $200,000 in 3 months. When did this happen? So where it gets interesting is kind of starting at Aware. Aware right now is 5th, and they're 20-20. And so they just need to go 2-2. They have to win 2 of their matches. They can lose 2 of their matches, and they're going to qualify for sure. But the way that the bracket works, or the way that the league is looking right now, is that the bubble is kind of at all these teams that have 20 losses. So Aware, TK, and Justice. But the teams that can potentially beat them are Rise, Automatic Reload, and Elevate. And I'm not saying anything against those teams, but who they're playing this week, I think, in my opinion, you guys can tell me if you think any different, the 8 that we have right now, which is Optic Gaming, Denial, Prophecy, FaZe, Aware, TK, Envious, and Justice, I think that those teams will qualify.
I think so too.
Because Rise and AR are not going to win out. There is a chance that Envious, who I think needs to go, they can only lose 4 of their matches if one of those 2 teams win out. Could be a chance that Envious could fall underneath. And they're playing hard teams. But I think that Rise and Automatic Reload are going to get beat enough times to where these are going to be the teams that we have. These teams, it's not the same as last year where it was like EG has this last chance of qualifying. I don't think any of you guys question Optic Nation, whether or not they're going to make it.
They're not.
So, you said what?
I said, I don't, they're definitely not going to make. No offense to them, but the
they
team
dug
that they're
themselves
playing,
too big of a hole.
Yeah.
I wish they did, but like again, because of the team, because of people like the players on that team, I really wish they did, because like it's kind of a little bit weird knowing that like Karma probably isn't going to be at a World Championship. It's a little bit weird, but you know, yeah. So I kind of feel sorry for them, but they've dug themselves into a hole, as someone said like a couple of minutes ago. So yeah, it's kind of the fact that they got them in that situation in the first place. So now it's like bite the bullet and deal with it, sort of thing.
That is weird that Karma's not going to be at the playoffs, because they can't now. Landon, maybe you know this, and maybe someone in the chat. The league rosters are officially locked, right?
Yeah, the season 1 leagues rosters are, you can't change them.
So if you lost, you're not playing. Karma's not playing in the playoffs.
Yes,
is what you're saying.
Yeah,
TP is not playing in the playoffs.
Yeah, if they lose one of their games, which no offense, they will. They're not playing in the playoffs now.
That's crazy.
Exactly.
Unless they win out.
And currently,
right,
now this will never. Now here's a question for you guys. Here's a question: where does Karma go for season 2? Because he's got to be on it. There's no way Karma's not going to be in season 2. Which one of these teams does Karma go to?
Envy.
It all depends who doesn't do well at regionals.
Envy. I like to hear that.
Envy would be really good.
Except for who does he replace? Because they kind of have a great squad right now.
Yeah, that's true.
He replace.
Right.
Let's see. What if he went to a team like Aware?
I doubt Karma will go to a team.
You never know.
Can you imagine how frustrated he would be?
You know what? Denial's a great spot.
Ooh. You know Robbie's already on the phone like, Karma.
Oh, yeah.
Come to us, please.
Robbie always gets great teams. Like that's the thing about Robbie. He's willing to spend the money.
Salaries, yeah. Yeah,
he's willing to spend the money. He's going to have a great team. He has a great brand. There's actually quite a bit of loyalty, I think, to his brand, like as far as from people, from investors. That would be a great destination.
He has a strong brand, but he also, it's an important point that Robbie has made, that there's like 3 orgs that do contracts, and I think it's him, Prophecy, and maybe FaZe. I don't remember.
I'm sure Optic probably has some contracts behind. It would make sense.
I think Envy does.
I think Envy. I can't remember.
I think Optic has
Hastro tweeted out
trades, but not contracts for salary.
I'm pretty certain Hastro, who said that, like, he tweeted out a couple. I think it was just before G3. He was like, "So happy that all of our players have finally got contracts or salaries or something along those lines."
Yeah.
So I'm pretty certain like Envy's got them, unless something's changed. Again, I don't know. Like, I wish I knew all this stuff behind organizations, but
I would love to sit in their back
it would be really interesting. But I'd assume
listen.
Optic will, because it's pretty ludicrous if like Optic didn't have contracts, because then someone would be like, "Hey, Krim, we'll give you stupid amounts of money. Now, please pay for us. Because you would have thought that, like...
It wouldn't...
Well, he's making
200K. Yeah,
yeah,
200K on YouTube. He's streaming and getting 15, 16,000 viewers. He's fine. Like Krim's doing okay.
I'll tell you a spot that Karma could land, and I think everybody would be shocked and I wouldn't be shocked, is actually TK.
That's true.
For who? Looney?
No, for Theory.
Oh, Dylan.
I love Theory. I think he's the best, like one of the best players. But how many times have they traded him off?
He's basically just like they just let him go whenever they want. It's like
and anytime somebody comes up, Theory's like, "Oh man, I might get traded. I might get traded. You never know."
I'm not a fan of Goonjar. I don't like Goonjar, so I'm going to say trade Goonjar. I'm sorry, but what he did.
I'm just kidding.
No, but obviously, like
racist, mate.
I can't even say anything now. I'm just gonna put that. Fine. No, but like, I think it's what he did where he kind of like snaked TK to join Envy at that one stage. As soon as that happened, he came back, but that's only like when Envy didn't work for him. But it's like the fact that he did that kind of, I lost all respect for him at that stage, unfortunately. So yeah, if on the off chance you're watching this, don't take it personally. I'm sure you're a lovely person, but I don't like you.
I agree with.
So respectful.
I agree with
It's the British way.
99. He said he will become frustrated. Here's the thing: like, Karma may be the Allen Iverson of COD.
Don't hate on AI. Don't hate on
I'm not hating on him. I'm just saying
no idea
AI is like Rajon Rondo. He just has a hard time playing on a team. Like he has a hard time being coached, and he has a hard time playing on a team. And I think Karma
practice.
Talking about soccer?
What? No, basketball.
Oh my god.
Soccer. So I think Karma has a hard time playing on an Oregon or like a team unless it's a group of guys that he just really would hang out with IRL, like in real life dudes, like Killa, like Miracles. And even though he hated Haggy and clowned him all the time, they worked together. And the funny thing is about those teams we were talking about earlier is that Karma, if you look at ON, he has a championship with every player on that team, but on 2 different organizations. And so Karma is a winner. Like, there's no mistake about it. This dude is phenomenal. I mean, the way that, I think when Allen Iverson came into the league, people were like, he's going to be not the next Jordan. He's going to be himself. This dude's dropping 40 points, and he's 6 foot tall, and he's dunking on people, but he's tiny. And Karma is that
6 foot tall.
He's that just Karma's that just overly talented dude that has an interesting Twitter life with Holly. And it's funny when they're tweeting each other and they're like sitting in the same room, like, make me some chicken. No, I'm playing. Well, you're sleeping on the couch. So what? It's like they have an interesting conversation and they're in the same house. But I think, I don't know which of these teams. He could go to FaZe. I know he's been there before, but he could go to FaZe. He could go to Denial.
I think Denial. I think that maybe
Nadeshot retires after getting his championship and he goes to Optic Gaming.
That's actually a really good idea. Him going to Nation Gaming. If he went to Nation, that'd actually be quite a good call, to be honest.
Again, like Nadeshot?
Karma?
No.
What?
Nadeshot. You just said. I'm sure you just said.
You just said Nadeshot should go to Optic Nation. You're gonna
no. What you just said.
Retiring.
What you just said. No. What you just said is like he retires to Nation.
He can settle down and go down.
Oh no,
he can settle down, have a house, have a kid.
Yeah.
Go to Nation. Sorted.
Yeah,
and then he's still part of Optic because again he wouldn't.
I don't think he'd ever go to Nation, to be honest.
All right, I have a question. If you are an 8-shot, do you retire if you win champs?
Yeah, 100%.
I don't.
It's not going to get any better than champs.
My team is crazy. Like, we just won champs. Like, I'm never leaving if
they win champs. Nadeshot's going to stay on that team this whole year. They're going to win like 5 championships, and then he's going to retire at the end of AW.
The thing is, all it takes is one of those players to leave, and then all of a sudden it looks like, say for example, Krim leaves for whatever reason. This is just speculation. Sorry, Greenwall. But say Krim leaves.
No, rage.
say Krim leaves.
Twitter handle and it's under your
name. Yeah, cover the Twitter handle. No, but say Krim leaves, and then like then the team just somehow doesn't work together. The chemistry just isn't there. And then Nadeshot retires. It looks like he's retiring on like a low. Well, if he retires when he's just won world championships, then like he's always going to be remembered for winning world championships, not going to be remembered for quitting.
Yeah,
when
players don't think that way. They think they can always keep winning. Like that's STiKS. I can win until I'm done winning, until I say I'm done winning. And for some players, that's just not true. Like it's over. And I think for Nade, like, how many championships does he have to win in your guys' mind to be put in the conversation as one of the greatest? Like, how many championships would Optic have to win this year? Like, if he won 6, and so he'd end up having like what, 7, 8? If he had 8 championships in X Games, a COD champs, he won the what is that thing he won way back in the beginning that was like
COD Chicago.
COD XP. He won COD XP. He makes $1 million a year. He has 2 million subs. Like, does he go in contention? Like, if we created a Hall of Fame, would he be the first person you consider, or would you still put STiKS over him if just because of championships?
Well, I think that we put him in there because of like Nade's not like other people in sports. Like usually people, not saying that not
OG's down 0-1 to ON. Really? What? ON beat them in hardpoint on Detroit?
Called it. Let me guess. Former had to answer the door. Former going to have to answer the door.
Go ahead, Landon. Sorry.
I'm stunned. Like I don't. Okay.
250 to 149 in Detroit HP.
Throwing it. Just kidding.
Called it.
I'm just kidding.
Are they playing with all their players? That's what I want to know.
With all their thumbs.
Hex is
hey, let's play one-handed tonight, guys.
Hex is.
It's the old man.
Guys, we're gonna play like this.
Let's everybody try to play claw with our left hand.
Okay, we're not really sounding. ON is not that bad. OG is that good. That's what we're saying, chat. ON is not that bad.
Oh no, ON's that bad. No, why? Like, I hope they're not throwing it. But
I want to hear Landon. I want to hear your conversation.
About Nade going in the Hall of Fame.
About Nade, I think versus STiKS.
It's different for Nade because of how, like, had it not been for him, we wouldn't be here. Like none of us would probably even be here had it not been for Nade in a way. So, like, it's different from other sports because usually the best players, not saying that Nade's not a good player because he is in objective role play, but it's different because usually the best players of all time go into, and I'm not saying that Nade's not the best player of all time, like I just said, but it's like he literally made it. So it's like, how can he not be one? Like, does that make sense? Like, he's basically made it what it is, so you can't not put him in the Hall of Fame. But STiKS, I admit, is overall the most winningest player for right now. I think they both deserve to be in it. But over one, I don't. Who?
You said for right now. Like, who's going to top
Krim
19 championships?
Krim's not far behind.
Dang, Krim actually can. Screw Nade. If they win, Krim is going to be number 1.
Screw Nade. Attack! Again. Got it.
I am totally gonna rip that.
Please make a sound clip.
Put it on Vine.
No, if they win, Krim is gonna be like, he'll be over STiKS. He'll be number 1. If they win like 3, all they have to do is win like probably 6 championships, 5, something like that. Because Krim has 13, I think.
More worlds than STiKS, and you have more overall total wins.
He needs to win 6 championships. Dang.
They can definitely do that.
Somebody said, "Nice knowing you, Kingdom."
Yeah.
I know. Merc tried to warn me. He tried to warn me. All right, so enough about the COD League and all these potential things that are never going to happen. It'll be great on Friday when we can actually look at what the actual teams are. It looks like we sent like 300 people to go watch Optic Gaming.
Yeah, no shit. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. So you guys can keep us up to date, though, in the chat. Oh, TP. What is happening? Gosh. All right, so... EU qualifiers. Rage, you want to kind of give us an update on what happened in the EU qualifiers?
This weekend, EU qualifiers kind of happened. I believe Saturday of the 2 qualifiers was streamed, so like a lot of the streams going on. But the stream I was watching was GFINI because obviously that was UK coverage, so I could actually understand that because it was like French streams, Dutch streams, Belgium streams, and obviously I don't speak fluent French, Dutch, whatever else I just said. So yeah, like obviously I was watching that stream, so I mostly know like more. I know more about like the UK than the rest, but from what I can remember, TCM, Millennium, Epsilon, I mean, Epsilon was on fire. They didn't drop a map. They didn't even drop a search and destroy round. So like that kind of God squad, that God squad, what they kind of formed. Obviously, Josh and Madcat being like the two main people who joined. Then obviously Swanee comes back over. Swanee was on fire from what I've seen, and then obviously Tommy as well, kind of joining for that team. I mean, that team was very, very strong. My friend actually played that team in the qualifiers. He actually, I think it was like round 1 or round 2, and he just said like he couldn't spawn because like as soon as he was getting spawned, he was just getting killed and killed and killed over and over again. So
I
like,
how that feels to play against pro team.
How does that feel like?
It feels horrible. It's like the worst feeling. I mean, I haven't played COD for like 2 weeks because I got demolished in a 2K.
I think like Swanee, like you guys tell me, like, would you? Well, I guess this is a stupid question, but it's like, would you rather play in an environment where your top 4 player and your team is almost unbeatable, or go to an environment where there's a lot of teams that are, well, almost every team was better than Nation when he was on it, but it's like where there's a lot of teams that are better than your team, and you're probably maybe a top 20, top 25 player. Like, you know, is Swanee going to stay in the EU in your opinion, Rage? Like, is he happy winning that he's not going to come back here?
The thing is obviously like most competitors, I assume he's winning. I mean, like competitors enjoy winning. I mean, if he was losing and he was talented to the point where a team would pick him up, I assume it would be a different story. But the fact that that Epsilon team is so strong, I believe he's already stated that he wants to go back to America. So like, obviously that kind of gives you the incentive that maybe back to Optic, because I know Hex likes him. I mean, Hex has posted stuff on Reddit before saying like he's a big fan of Swanee and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So that kind of inclines. But again, he said he wants to go back to America, I believe, on Twitter. So him to say that publicly, especially when he's already on a team what's arguably the best in Europe, it depends where you come from. There's kind of like a battle between TCM and Epsilon. So yeah, they're kind of like top 2. As always in Europe, it's always TCM and Epsilon at the top. But Millennium are also playing quite well recently. But yeah, so personally, I can see him going back over to America, this time probably on a stronger team, but it'll probably still be ON, in my opinion. Yeah. But again, like, I'm sure he's not really in a hurry to look for a team because, you know, he's qualified for the World Championships with Epsilon, and I'm pretty certain he's happy where he is with Epsilon because he's with his friends. I mean, he's with his duo. Well, he's kind of a duo. Obviously, it's not the Jerd duo, but obviously he's played with all these players before. I mean, Jerd's not on that team, but he's played with all these players before. I mean, he gets on well from what I'm led to believe with Josh, Madcat, Tommy. I mean, Tommy, he's teamed with Tommy on Epsilon, like pretty much all the ghosts.
Yeah.
So he gets on well with the players. So it's not like he's unhappy. So I think it's just if a better opportunity occurs, then he probably will go.
Well, I think that's the problem is that one of the things that Merck said when he was on is that people judge you based on how you've done, regardless of who you were playing with.
Yeah.
And so your placements say a lot. So Swanee came to America, and his team, I'm not going to say him, but just his team couldn't figure it out. They crapped the bed. And so when Swanee's coming back to America, it's not like FaZe is going to be like, we want Swanee. You know, it's like, well, he didn't do too good when he was here. So Optic may be his only option, but do you think that team would be completely 100% unstoppable if Jerd was on there instead of Josh or Madcat?
To be honest, no. I don't want to say it exactly. It's like the kind of the judgment because I'm pretty certain I know a few pros are kind of watching this, but no. Because obviously, if they're doing so well, the fact that the R and stuff were in the qualifiers, you know, the way seeding works, obviously, they had kind of an easy run. I think they got second seed, I think TCM got the first seed. It was either 1 or 2, I might have got that mixed up. But yeah, so they had such a good seeding, so they wasn't playing against the top teams, so that's why they probably went so well, obviously, consistently without losing a map or even dropping a search and destroy. So the fact that, like, they were that strong, I kind of can't say they'll be better with this player or that player, or they should drop this player because they've done so well how it is. It kind of just says if they go to the regionals and, you know, they're a little bit shaky or so on and so forth, then that's kind of when you can judge an opinion because they'll be playing against top teams then.
Yeah. No, it's a weird, I wish there was a way for them to play together, but of course connection would kill that, you know. I just wish there was some type of a NA Euro League, you know, that we could make, but it just can't happen. It's not possible.
It's super long Ethernet cables.
What we do is we just
Fiber,
get out
baby.
An island. We get out an island in like the Atlantic.
There you
like,
go.
Literally like 50-50 either way, so it's not
Hawaii.
too far in America. That's in the Pacific, I believe. That geography skills.
Chat. And this is so.
No, but obviously, yeah. So if you have an island in the middle, and then the connection's not 50-50, and then just have a LAN event, just build a massive hotel, build a massive arena, a LAN on the island, sorted.
Yeah,
Sorted, mate.
Sorted, mate. Sorted.
I was like, what are you talking about?
Sword? What?
Thank you,
Sword.
Cast. Cole is the homie. I've been watching him. I can't believe it's been 5 months either. Cole has subscribed for 5 months in a row.
5 months.
Let's go, Cole.
You are the man.
You are the real MVP.
You are the real MVP. You might have been the first subscriber, actually. Whatever.
He just says he was the first subscriber in a very jealous way, so you can't hear that.
Subscriber. That is true, though. When we were making up the subscriber icon, Goalie showed it to me with his own subscription. No. Can I subscribe to myself? Is that actually possible? I know it's like an automatic sub, but I can't really
subscribe to yourself is a little bit egotistical.
Okay.
No, but you can pay Goalie how do you say that? Absorbent amounts of money.
Doesn't Goalie already get paid like £1 million a week?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
man,
£1 million cake a week.
There goes that NDA. Gosh, I'm not gonna on STiKS anymore. God damn it.
God, Landon's making it look like something bad happened. All right, so people are typing in the chat that Scumpy's playing with his feet, Crim's computer is upside down, and Scump is also not using his scuff. So, all right, I'm gonna do at least a couple questions from Twitter. Let me pull them up.
I will do them. STiKS up 4-1 right now in S&D. So I mean, after gaming, not.
Yeah, they're probably. It looks like in the search.
I know Optic's gonna win.
Oh gosh,
it's 5-1 now. So.
All right, first question. Holy crap! I'm not gonna be able to go.
Yes, Grass Esports, Cole.
Warning.
Grass Esports.
Questions from Twitter incoming.
Please.
Let's go top.
I should probably.
Then I can stop. All right, first question comes from TBG numbers, and he says, "Do you what? Huh? What? What do you mean? You want me to switch? Go the other way? All right. Do you think an EU team could ever win champs or any other foreign teams?
Heck no! I'm just kidding.
Just kidding.
I need to write down some material here. Let me get my paper.
Oh gosh. Landon, what do you think? Possible? Not possible.
I think it's possible. I mean, let's just take it from this point. We can all agree that based on previous stats, that the USA is superior in Call of Duty to the UK. Unfortunately, I think it's possible that we can somehow assemble players from the EU, but honestly, the best players from all of EU. Of all.
Are you saying the best players from all of EU would lose to Optic Nation?
No, I think that they would beat Optic Nation.
Oh, so the current Epsilon would beat Optic Nation on LAN.
Currently, I think so.
Okay, go ahead with your conversation.
Okay. Something bad is about to happen. Like someone's about to break down my door or something, but
yeah, I've got Judd with a SWAT team outside your door, just on call. I'm just gonna make a phone call.
Fatty's wife is gonna pull the cord.
For real, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Rage.
But I think
I
was just saying, if we could assemble somehow the best players from all of Europe to come together and play, I think it's possible that we could see. Soon in the near future, not now. No offense, but not now. I don't think. But maybe we could, and someday
they could get fourth now.
Fourth.
You what, mate?
It sounded like he's like fourth. Okay, well, do this then, Rage. Tell me, what. Well, let me name a couple teams. So you're thinking Epsilon has got to be your team, right? That you would say even has a possibility?
I don't know, because TCM are really good at the minute as well. I mean,
what?
TCM.
Okay, so who's better? Pick one. Just pick a team. If you
can't.
Had to represent if you had to represent the EU,
I genuinely can't pick. I'm gonna get absolutely destroyed. I swear, I can't pick.
He's gonna lose followers if
Can I just say like Millennium? Out of Epsilon, TCM, Millennium, and then like out of Millennium and TCM, Epsilon.
Wait, you can't pick. What if you're casting at champs? What if they call you up like, hey, somebody didn't work or something like that, and you're casting at champs, and they say predict a winner live? You're gonna be like, I can't.
Wait, out of TCM and Epsilon?
Yes.
You just pull Benson and just say round 11. I mean,
on LAN. Who would
pull Benson?
round 11, game 5.
At LAN?
Just pick one.
Oh gosh. I'm gonna have to just going by like the quarterfinals. Sorry, just going by through the COD qualifications. I'm gonna have to say Epsilon, but TCM I still highly rate them.
Okay.
Please don't hurt me, TCM. Please don't hurt me.
Would Epsilon beat Optic Gaming?
No.
Would Epsilon be?
Well, everyone can beat anyone on their day, if you know what I mean.
Because if they played a best of 5.
Probably not, unfortunately.
But they beat FaZe that has aches on it.
Again, it all depends on the day. Like I don't want to say one team can beat another team because
Optic Nation could beat Optic Gaming like we just saw.
Exactly. Someone might have to go answer the door. Yeah.
But if you were betting on this, you would bet that Optic Gaming was going to beat Epsilon. I would think.
Well, apparently I'm stupid in my bets because I bet on the Seahawks. So I probably would bet on Epsilon.
Too soon.
Too soon. It hurts.
Oh, why does Avalanche have to be in here when you say that? Dang it.
No, we gotta thank Avalanche for coming by. I tweeted him, said I missed him, and he showed up. So he's amazing.
When that comes up on the stream, he's gonna abuse us. Or he's gonna abuse me. But I did give him, I think, like 100 followers or something.
I'll probably say, FaZe would beat Epsilon, unfortunately.
So what about Denial with the Clayster roster that they have right now?
Well, I'll say Epsilon will win. I'll say Epsilon.
So in your opinion, OG and FaZe are the only two teams that really you would say consistently will beat Epsilon.
Yeah.
Okay. So then would you potentially predict them getting 3rd at champs?
I could predict them getting first at champs. I mean, like, it all depends on the day. I mean, those two, look at the faces and I was like, no, I could genuinely, like, depending on what bracket they have, depending on who they have, because I mean, like, if you get an easy bracket...
So you're saying if OG goes against FaZe, but even losers bracket finals, Epsilon versus FaZe, you'd pick Epsilon?
Yeah.
Wow. I guess you got to stick with the...
Yeah.
Behind the green wall, right? Green wall's first. Right?
Yeah. Sorry, please do not hurt me. Anything I've said was a mistake.
Do you think an EU team can win?
Not as long as the Optic Gaming roster is together. I don't think it's going to happen. But for an EU team to win, they got to stay together for a while. And this is the big problem with the EU is they are like flopping, doing trades and all that stuff.
Too much tea.
Too much team. And I don't know what happened. Is my video frozen?
I don't think so.
You're alive on my screen.
Everybody's frozen on my end. Well, not frozen, but not even there. Anyways, they gotta quit, flip flopping rosters. I mean, just in the last few weeks, we've seen so many changes.
Whoa!
Hold on, weeks, but
what, Landon? What?
Someone just tweeted at me a picture, or no, it's a thing from Slasher, and it says, "Is it too late to start looking for a new champs team?"
Oh, Slasher.
What? Show me. Where?
Link that bad boy.
They tweeted it at you?
Well, someone tweeted at me him.
I
put it in the chat. I just put it in the chat.
What is this?
Is it too late to start looking for a new champs team?
See, this is exactly.
You was talking about EU players jumping around rosters. Do I need to say anything? Or do I just walk away now?
Well, no, I'm saying that EU teams, they need. I think more teams need to stick together.
It's actually not too late, though.
Yeah, it's not too late.
Yeah,
because they haven't qualified.
You see, Enable tweeted at him and said, "Let's look for 2."
Ooh.
Okay, that's
what?
I hope that's.
I bet they're messing around.
Is this?
I bet they're messing around.
And then Jacob says, "Oh, Intel."
Oh my goodness.
I wonder if that's a joke.
Okay, they're playing with Parasite and Aches. This is possible.
To be honest, if I played with Parasite, I'd be.
Well, see, that's the thing, and that's what I thought was crazy about that roster was they kept Slasher when Slasher and Aches didn't want to get along. They should have kept Apathy, even though he thinks he's Peanut Brain or whatever.
Apathy shouldn't have played with Aches. Like it's too. Sometimes it's like when you tell somebody that's being a victim of domestic violence, like get out of the house. You know, it's like, but he's rich. Get out of the house.
He's saying he hit him.
I'm saying verbally, yes, Apathy was abused.
Well, I think no matter what or who's there, Aches is gonna abuse somebody verbally, and you know before it was Crim 6 and TP, Aches is just a verbally abusive person. No, I'm just kidding. I really don't know him that well, but I did think it was crazy that he kept Slasher.
Straight. He doesn't cut any corners. He doesn't care about being nice. I mean, he speaks the truth and he says it quickly. He's like, Parasite,
he's a great manager.
Get along with us. You're done. We're picking up another fourth. You know, and the problem with this roster that they have now is that you have two guys that really are going to struggle getting along. I mean, fundamentally, Parasite and Aches disagree on how to run a team. They disagree on the roles. Like Parasite said, "You're stupid if you think that someone should always." Basically, he was saying unless you're Optic Gaming, you're stupid to try to be Optic Gaming. Like you're stupid to think that one person should always play the hill and you guys should just slay around because they're not Optic. You know, like he and Ace is like, well, that's what we want you to do. And if you can't do that, then you can go find your own team. You know, and I can imagine Slasher sitting there like, oh crap. And Enable's just like,
well, the thing, but like this phase team, like every time, like there's a good team, like a dominant team is like right now it's Optic. It used to be Cole, Complexity. Yeah. Every team tries to beat them at their best game type. Like everyone tries to make themselves as good as them at their best game type. It's like no, like that's what FaZe did. Like they literally made it so that like we're not going to win the hard point. Like you can basically just call the hard point a loss if you're versing Optic Gaming because it's like almost already done. But like they have it designed so they can win if they take the S&D and Optic's like a hype based team. You just like the hard point that they had is basically gone. You won the last game, and it's basically up in the air for CTF and Uplink because like that can go either way. So like automatically that's a really smart team, but I don't know. It's just I feel like all these teams are trying to make it. Try to beat them at their best game, at their best game type, and it's
Parasite had the smartest comments. He said, don't try to beat them in hard. Beat them in search and try to win game 3 or 4, and then beat them in the last search. Like that's how you'll win a championship against this team, and you beat everybody else because you're good. Like, and I think if they could get along, this team could be that team. Like, in my opinion, that's just my opinion. All right, next question. Jeez. This Slasher stuff is crazy. I'll be honest with you. If it happens, if he really is off, if that's confirmed and they're really looking for 2, I think Ricky and Bose may have found their 2. Like I'd grab Enable and Slasher so fast, and that team will get along. Like Slasher may be the only person that is verbal at any moment, and Ricky, but Bose and Enable can kind of go along, and they can have a good team. I think that would be a better team, like, as far as peace goes. I mean, this FaZe Red squad probably wasn't going to work long-term. I feel sorry for FaZe, though, if that happens, because then who the heck are they going to go after? Like, are they going to be like, you know, I don't know what they do.
Can you imagine if he was like, all right, Aches, you're going to have to team with Censor and Apathy on FaZe Black. That'd be so awkward. I would love that.
That would be hard.
I hope that doesn't happen. But,
All right, next question. We'll maybe do 1 or 2 more, and then we'll get off here in the next 8 minutes at 5 o'clock my time.
I go to bed
for our hour and a half long stream. All right, so let's not answer that question. Oli, I'm gonna skip to. Well, since it's on the top of our heads, let's skip to this David Atwell question from Canada Boy David. Why don't more teams... If you can't put it on the screen, Goalie, it's all good. Okay. Why don't more teams try to work with the roster they have rather than always trading and dropping players like TK and Optic?
Ooh.
Go ahead.
Me.
I think Fatty wants this one.
Me. It's because we're a society, nobody can see me. I'm being very energetic here. We're a society that, we want things done now. We don't want to wait around for things. And especially in Call of Duty where memory is short and so is the chance of you winning stuff, everybody wants things fixed now. They don't want to wait around. And that's the big problem. I mean, that's why we see so many roster swaps. Really, the only team that hasn't done many is TK, and they find themselves, top 10 consistently. They may not have won one, but I guess they did win AEL Dallas or whatever, but that didn't count because the big teams weren't there.
I could have won that.
Well, no,
Me, Judd, so. Tommy, Swanee would do it.
Yeah, if you're gonna play with those guys, I mean,
I'll just sit there like this. Just sit there with the
controller.
That's an EU team. They'd still lose to TK. Go ahead, Fatty.
But that's the problem is everybody wants things now instead of in due time. Instant gratification is exactly right.
Yep. Landon, what do you think? Why don't teams stick together?
Oh, is my cam working again?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, you're good.
Dude, this is so weird because I can't see you guys. Oh, well.
Just let Goalie tell you. He'll tell you if it's messed up.
I think a lot of these teams are like exactly what Fatty said. Like, we want to be good. We want to be good, like, at this current moment, which does, I mean, I can understand why a lot of teams just, like, want to get out of the, out of this team now. I don't want to be a part of this team anymore. But it's like you have to take in the fact, like, success comes with working with people that you've been with. Like, obviously, rosters just don't work out, and that's totally fine. Like, I understand, like, Envious, they tried, didn't work out. Like, teams like that just don't work. But, like, imagine if the old Denial team wouldn't have worked out. Like, we have all these players, like, we had Replays, Saints, all these players that no one really wanted, and so you put them on a team, but imagine if they wouldn't have stuck together. Like, that team ended up being really, really good. They faced, I think they, like, even won an event. So, like, a lot of these teams that are trying to, like, just spread apart, like, just give it a chance. I wish they would just give it a chance. But I understand the point where it's like, I want to be good, and I want to be good now. I want to be with players that I like, and, what forth. But I think they should at least give it a little bit more time before immediately leaving a team and causing drama. #drama alert.
I think Twitter has a lot to do with it too, because you can say a lot of harsh things on Twitter that you wouldn't necessarily say in a Skype call or, like talking to people. I think that has a lot to do with it too, because people's feelings get hurt and they don't want to deal with those other people, talking behind it. And case in point, look at what's kind of happening with TK and Moach in the house. I mean, I know they're not on the same team, but something happens, and next thing you know, somebody tweets about it, and then somebody's mad that they even tweeted about it. Stuff like that happens all the time.
What about you, Rage? Why don't teams stick together?
I think, again, like, you've got to look at the Cole kind of dynasty, because, whenever you refer to success, you've got to look at them, because, they are the most successful. Sorry, Greenwall. Sorry. But, like, obviously you have people like Teep, Crim, and Egg sticking together for pretty much, like, so much land, so long, so together. And obviously it got to the point where the chemistry was so good they didn't even need to practice. That's when you've got to the stage where, like, you're a good team, which when you don't practice ahead of a LAN, because you know what situations you're going to be in as a team. You kind of know where, say, like, if I'm Crim, I know where Eggs and TT are going to be, because you've got that chemistry. I mean, I believe they actually did a video once where, well, it wasn't a video, I think it was a live stream, where they didn't communicate. They didn't talk at all, and they still won the game convincingly because they just got that pre-existing chemistry. Yeah. So, like, obviously when you stick together, you do have that advantage to, like, a newly formed team. So I can kind of see that being that's something what needs to happen. But unfortunately with this community, you don't really see that anymore. You don't really see teams sticking together, at least in NA, because obviously in Europe there's only about a pool of 9 or 10 players who actually swap around in the top teams. So most of the players have already, like, played with each other, and that's kind of the problem with, like, Europe, is there's so much young players. I mean, there's so much people who are under 18 who I could see qualifying, but because they haven't played at a top team yet, they don't get the chance to play on the top team. What means obviously all the players who are on top teams have already played with each other, already used to having that experience. So that's kind of a good thing about the European teams. They've already got that community, like, they've already got that chemistry, what obviously NA teams might not have.
So I'm going to agree with Fatty. I think it's this may be the craziest thing to say in the COD community, but it's It's what I'm known for, so I'm not going to stop it. I think it's a little bit deeper. I don't think it's as shallow as the way that the teams work out and the winning records and all that crap. I think it's really just like it has to do with us as, especially in North America. Like, we are all about instant gratification. We are all about, like, if I told you guys the number, if I could like put it on the screen one time, the number of DMs and tweets I get saying, how can I get on the STiKS? When can I be on the STiKS?
Yep.
How do I want to get to your level? You know, how do I want to have a channel like yours? How do I get into the community? How do I get involved? People don't want to. Bo said it in one of the funniest videos I've seen this year so far, in his video today, where Money B said people actually ask him if he can send them the scuff that he plays with, because they're like, well, you know, you get new ones. Can you send me the one you're like just they're bold enough to ask that. People don't want to take the time. Like, I've been on YouTube for 3 years. It took me 1.5 years to get to 1,000 subscribers, and so I tell people all the time, consistently grind, and that's what teams do. And when you ask the pros like Merc, who's going to do the best at COD champs, the first thing Merc said was OG and TK. You know, he said the people that are on the same connection all the time and that have stuck together are going to probably do the best. And so these team houses where you can build that kind of camaraderie, you can build it instantly, you can play around, have Nerf gunfights like the guys do in the TK house. Like, you can bring that fun and that camaraderie to LAN, like OG when they went to the Red Bull offices, you know, and then won X Games and then finished top 3 in the next 2 events. It's like, I think there's, we miss out on the human element in the Call of Duty community. We act as if it doesn't exist, and especially the players. They're just like, well, it's just getting together with the right people that are the best. And that's what STiKS tried to do with the squad that rumored is, you know, Slasher wants off, but he tried to build a squad that just had the skills to win, but they didn't have the temperament, you know. And if you don't have the temperament to stick together, it's just not going to work. I wouldn't even take a risk on a player that didn't have the temperament that I was looking for, which is why I think Optic Nation hasn't announced their roster, because they don't see Killing Miracles as having the temperament necessary to work with Karma and Teep to be successful long term. And there's no way that even if they pick them up, you heard it here first, that roster stays together beyond champs. It's just not going to happen. Like, if they're not in the COD League, why are those 4 world champions, former world champions, gonna play together for 2Ks and 5Ks? No way. And so I think this, the instant gratification piece, people aren't willing to have pain now to have pleasure later, you know. It's like to deal with the hard discipline of, like, let me tell you, Landon, that's on the show right now, guys, you guys that are watching in chat, Landon is a grinder, you know. And I told him probably 3-4 months ago, hey, you know, I really like your stuff. I like what you're doing. Maybe we'll have you on the STiKS one day. Now he's been on the STiKS twice. He's a part of the STiKS family. This dude has almost 12,000 followers on Twitter, and it's just because he kept grinding. He stayed consistent, and would turn on his stream at night and just stream and talk about roster mania and let people ask questions. And he's found a very successful brand within the community, but it's because he just kept grinding. And the one thing you always told me, Landon, whenever I said, you know, maybe we'll have you on the STiKS one day, you were like, oh, it doesn't matter. Like, that's not a big deal. Like, you know, I just appreciate the follow, or, you know, whatever. Like, I appreciate the tips and the feedback, and it's not a big deal. Like, you don't have to have me on the show. Like, Landon was never begging for anything. And he would play with Goalie all the time. And then finally one day, you know, I just talked to Goalie and said, hey, let's bring him in, you know, and it's because he had the consistency. And so I think players aren't willing to do that. They want the instant nade shot fame. I've had a pro player DM me and ask me for tips on YouTube, and then when I gave them tips,
that was me, wasn't it?
They never talked to me. No, it was me. It was a pro. And I actually watched 4 of their videos and gave them tips on what I would do differently. And I never heard from them again. And I looked at the videos and they haven't really changed anything. So
it's the same as you. I mean, like, as soon as I joined the STiKS, pretty much it was a year ago. I think I can remember I was looking over old DMs with you the other day. It was a year ago. So, like,
easy.
Since then, you kept on telling me, you know, start a YouTube, build a brand, all this stuff. And, you know, obviously I'm doing it. If you want to check out my YouTube channel, links in the description. But shameless plug. But anyway, it's like, yeah, the fact that obviously now I'm starting it up, you know,
yes,
it's good to see that the stuff what, you know, you've been telling me, I've been taking it on board. And obviously as a result, it's paying off. Like I'm seeing people are liking the video, people are tweeting me saying they like it and stuff. So it's like it's always satisfying from like the other end of the spectrum is like when you do grind and you can kind of see the progress. Cause I mean, like I'm tiny, like I'm little. I mean, I haven't got like 12k, 30k Twitter followers. So it's like when I see people obviously interacting, like saying they enjoy the content, even us telling me what to do, constructive criticism, obviously, it's always good and it's kind of rewarding as well. So,
props. No, and that's what players don't. There, as a player, you have to appreciate that. One of the biggest reasons Rambo went off of Envy is because he was hard to play with. You know, it was hard to hear constructive criticism from someone that wasn't dropping as many kills as you. And there's an ego thing to it. You know, it's like I'm Karma. Shut up. You know, like you're not going to tell me how to rotate. You just got like 17 kills and I got 32. Like, you know, talk to me when you actually slay. And that's a real issue, is that it's hard. There's a little ego that goes with it. You know, when you're good, you've won championships, and someone that's not as good as you, but that may know the game better, is trying to tell you what to do. You're like, put me on a new team or get rid of him. You know, pick up Scump. Let's get Scump from Optic. Oh, he's leaving. Oh, and now Proofy's leaving. Oh, geez. All right, I'm out of here. You know,
apparently ON beat Optic 2-1, or it's 2-1 apparently. ON.
Yeah, they gotta win another one.
Come on.
What
really?
did I say? Did I not call it? Did I not call it?
What is Optic doing?
Why am I right of everything? I mean, I predicted the Optic Swanee thing straight away.
Well, who else does Optic play tonight? Let's see. Or Nation plays.
Optic will win.
Nation plays Envy.
And Envy can't throw that. Envy needs the wins.
Envy really can't.
No, but going back to like what we were talking about earlier, though, like I feel like the players that are most recognized are the players that have stick with teams the longest and are the most dedicated. Like Merc is looked at as like one of the most dedicated people because he's played on like 2 teams, Envious and Optic, for the longest time.
Yeah.
Like the teams that will go down in history as the best players were the players that were the most patient with, you know, how the organization was going, just because it wasn't lifted off. You know, the players that have believed in like what's going on with their team and stuff. Those players will go down as the most dedicated, the best players in history, regardless of skill. And I think that's what Nadeshot gets a lot of credit for, because he stick with the team even though he wasn't guaranteed a spot. Like, I'm not, you know, loving on Nadeshot or anything, but he stuck with the team even though he wasn't guaranteed to play.
Yeah. And
he's made it, and as well as Merc, like all these players have just stuck with the team and they've gotten successful from it. And I think that's relates to not just Call of Duty but everything. If you find something that's unique and you put enough work into it, you'll get just as much as you put into it. And I feel like that's what a lot of people are trying to discover, and that a lot of people need to discover in the community is you stick with the team, you find a group of players that you like playing with, and it'll work out eventually. It has to. It won't.
I agree with you, Cookie, about Sharp. TK just hasn't been able to climb to the top of the mountain. Like, but I think Sharp will still go down as someone who, like, this dude's been around since COD 4 and still can consistently, like, there's plenty of maps where he's the #1 slayer on his team. Mm-hmm. And he's real good in AW. Like, this is a good game for him. But then it sucks because it's like being Charles Barkley or Karl Malone, stupid guys that, or like Carmelo Anthony, because this dude named Michael Jordan comes along and you just can't get past him, or this dude named LeBron James comes along and goes to the finals 4 years in a row, and you're just like,
that's a basketball player. That's a basketball player. Rage.
Oh, thanks. I was literally Wikipedia right now. Thanks for that. Yeah.
Or this cricket player, Jiminy. You know, he just
Jiminy. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he was a cricket player called Jiminy. Cricket's a very upper class sport, so to speak. So you do have shots fired, I know. So, you know, yeah.
So I think
if you do play cricket, sorry.
I agree with I agree with you, Landon. So I'm not gonna get any more questions with Twitter. Everybody's watching this OG ON game anyway. And I wanna Fatty wants me to mention that Envy picked up a CS:GO team. I think we talked about this briefly last week. It's
Oh, you did?
It's good for, or maybe I did in a video. It's good for I think it's good for everything.
Me too.
I think it's good for CS:GO to have that brand in there, because people are gonna watch CS:GO because Envy has a team. Like, it's just a given. You know, Envy and Optic have the biggest competitive brands. FaZe definitely has probably, and this is so people would
spinning around
disagree
the
with
circle
me,
brand.
but FaZe probably has the most recognizable logo in the gaming world, in my humble opinion. You know, yeah, I know when people see T-Mart's face, they're like T-Mart, you know, but FaZe has one of. I mean, I see that logo on Hondas around my town. You know,
Really?
Yeah, I've seen FaZe logos just on a car. Like, I don't see OG logos, but I see FaZe. That F is very. And Goalie told me it was made by like a kid for a design contest for FaZe or something like that.
I can imagine you to have like an OG logo on the back of your car, Kingdom.
Okay, guys. Oh man. My name is Goalie. Okay.
Hello.
Kingdom's back.
We're back.
Okay.
Hello. Am I alive?
Kingdom's wife just pulled the cord out this time, I think.
Am I live? Optic has stopped us. Optic has stopped us.
We weren't talking about Optic, were we?
No, I think he heard what I was saying about Optic and was just like,
and
no,
Rage,
pull the cord,
can
pull
you
the
guys
cord.
Can you put your webcams on, please?
Rage, put your webcam on.
I was so confused. I was like looking at you guys and I was waiting for
Who did that?
That was Anthony's wife.
It had to be my host.
It was Anthony's wife.
You're the host, right?
Yeah, my host dropped it.
Detrimental level.
We're not back yet, right?
We are back.
Someone said, "What is that voice?"
I haven't been able to see you guys in like the last hour, so.
We're back? We're back.
We are back!
They're like, OMG, that voice.
Blame the green wall.
They're doing what Hitch told them to do.
Yeah, I just realized that.
That's funny. Scary invisible voice.
Invisible voices.
Hey, what's up, MLG Formula Scuff winner, Envy Scuff winner. All right, so we're gonna close this show. Well, real quick, you know what? Let's do this. I'm gonna just rattle them off. Okay, all you. I don't want an explanation. I want you to tell me. So starting with, we're gonna go Fatty, Landon, Rage. So we'll skip to the second round of matches because the other ones have already started, so you could cheat. So TK versus Elevate. Who wins? Fatty?
TK versus Elevate. I believe TK does because TK is hosting, and they've just shown a lot of life at their house. I think it's coming together.
Landon?
TK pretty easily because not saying that like team houses make a difference, but everyone knows they do, and they're hosting it. Already a better team easily.
Rage.
TK. I like to vote for the underdogs, but it's TK. It's TK all the way.
All right, Optic.
TK all day.
Optic versus FaZe argument. Who wins?
Which Optic?
Start with Fatty. It's the black Optic. The FaZe black is, or the black FaZe. FaZe black.
Racist.
What?
Racist.
I'm talking about me. I just haven't announced it yet.
The black Optic.
Your name is actually the black Optic.
Optic.
Racist.
All right, so FaZe black.
An Optic.
Somebody's gonna tweet that at me. FaZe black and Optic Gaming. So Akes and his squad versus the Crim squad. I'm just saying Crim because of the Akes Crim, the headbutting. Who wins? Starting with Fatty.
Optic Gaming because they're not gonna throw two of them.
Oh!
Wait, did Nation win that one then?
They're still playing, I think.
Oh man,
we have an update.
I think they're in Optic.
Wikipedia. Where's the update? Oh,
Landon, Optic FaZe.
I'm gonna say, I think Optic will be kind of ticked off if they're not throwing it, which I've heard speculation. But I think the Optic will take it. I think it'll be close. I think it'll actually be close. But I think Optic will take it like 3-1 narrowly or 3-2.
Okay. Rage.
FaZe.
Okay.
Akes is just the one who's like, I don't know about it's all about Akes. What just makes him turn up in situations. I mean, he might not individually be the best player on the team.
He's really good.
But the way he talks, the way he manages to motivate other people on his team, even if he's not performing, he just kind of makes everyone clutch up in those situations. So I'm going to say,
forget something though.
3-2.
You forget something. Enable and Slash are looking for two.
Yeah, but no matter what,
2v4.
Akes is just going to turn around and he goes, Enable, Slasher, you want to leave this team? Prove yourself tonight. Win this game. That's what I was going to say, because Akes is that sort of person. He'll go, if you want to leave, make sure you prove yourself. Make sure you leave the team on good terms. Make sure you win this game, and they will, because that's the sort of person STiKS is. STiKS is someone who's really good at motivating his teammates, and obviously as a result, he's just going to make them play well, in my opinion. He's that sort of player.
So I'm going to go with OG on that one. Elevate versus let's skip over that. An important match. Envy versus Owen.
Oh, let's see. Envy versus ON.
If Owen beats Optic, they have to win everything, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't think Envy gives that up. I wonder who won between them and Justice, but it's on Envy's host. I just don't see Envy giving it up.
Okay, I think they're still playing Justice, and nobody's tweeting because Goalie's running our show. All right, last match of the night: Denial versus TK. And to make a point, Denial has secured their qualification. TK needs to go 3-3, so they really need to just beat Elevate, and they probably need to win this Denial match to just be a little more comfortable. Once they get 3 wins, they can kind of sit back and be like, all right, we made it. We're not going to be the detriments like the whole thing with last year, but or the last game. So Fatty, Denial or TK?
Oh, it's Denial's host. I believe did Denial win both games last week? I can't remember.
Against TK?
Yeah.
Denial is 2-1 against TK. I don't know when the one.
Well, no, I'm thinking last week. Last week it seemed like Denial's been turning it up. I'm going to say Denial's actually going to win this one.
Okay.
Gosh dang it.
Denial plays FaZe, so that could affect the outcome. Like, they play FaZe right now, and then that could affect the outcome. Like, if they lose, if they get beat badly, it really determines. And TK could elevate, so they could be on a high.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, so I agree. I think it depends on if FaZe or if Denial beat FaZe. If Denial beat FaZe, I'm going to say they're going to beat TK. If they didn't, and even if TK lost to Elevate, I believe TK wins.
Okay. Landon? Denial?
I'm just going to say Denial. I don't know why. I'm just going to say Denial. Not a reason at all. I'm just going to say.
Because the Clay.
Exactly. The Clay love. All right. Ray.
Clay, come home. Just kidding.
If Denial are safe, because they don't really need to win other than obviously high placings. They don't need to win like TK. So obviously if TK are going to be coming off Elevate, a game what we've all predicted is going to be quite one-sided to TK, then obviously TK are going to be on a high. They're going to be like, come on guys, we can do this sort of thing. They're going to be high. They're going to be ready to go. And then obviously you just said FaZe is going to be playing Denial. Obviously Denial probably might not be the better of the two in that FaZe lineup, so they're going to probably want a downer, not going to move too high. So obviously, if all our predictions come true, then obviously I'm going to say TK.
You're going to say TK?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Goalie TV.
Agreed.
He's winning. I think
he's the real MVP. He is the real MVP.
I have a question. Is Hugh streaming now? Is Hugh streaming on
Hook? I don't know.
Hook Squad. Is he streaming on MLG now? I'm curious.
He has a channel, yeah.
Okay, I was just curious. Random question, I know.
Yeah, he has a channel. All right, so thank you for the predictions tonight. Thank you guys, those 260 of you that have stuck around and didn't leave us for Optic. You're probably actually watching it in another window. But we appreciate it. And it looks like they're going to end up being, because OG's up 11-5. So it looks like TK just beat Elevate 3-1. Nice.
Didn't someone predict that? I think
so. 12-5 Optic. Yeah, so they're going to end up going to the last match. And then Goalie, we got to talk about, well, I guess we'll talk off stream. So if you subscribe today, I think we got 3 subscribers today. Thank you guys for subscribing. Really appreciate it. I'll be following you on Twitter. We'll be playing for you together, I guess, in the future, or the opportunities will be presented. I'm going to figure out how to figure out everybody's Twitters that's a subscriber. If I have to send you private messages on Twitch or whatever I got to do, Goalie will help me figure that out. And thank you guys for just continue to support us and help us get the new sub emotes and all the shirts and everything we've sold, and the STiKS fam. I should have announced this when there was more people on the show, but Rage, that's on the show today, we've already announced it, but in case you don't know, he's one of the hosts of the STiKS EU that'll be starting up soon, very soon.
Cheers.
Soon.
Very soon. And we'll announce the other host soon, very soon. We already do have the other host.
Sooner than you think.
The host is the real MVP.
And listening to them talk is really awkward. It's like,
what do you mean?
Talking about tea time.
It's so weird. It's so weard having another European person talking.
And their sadness over not being able to beat, North American teams. I mean, it's just like really.
I'm gone. I'm walking.
All right. Here's how we end the show. You guys are gonna say hi, Property. You guys are gonna say whatever you want to whoever you want. 30 seconds or less. Don't make it too long. You can shout out whatever you want to. And I'm gonna go Fatty, Landon, Rage. No, I'll go Fatty, Rage, Landon, and then I'll close out the show.
All right, this has been the Kingdom Beard Fatty. Thanks for watching us and hanging out. Thanks for all those that subscribe. And, I think it's really awesome that I have my own emote now. So it's Kingdom, capital Beard, all one word. Well, capital B, eared. All one word. I think that's amazing. So Kingdom, thank you very much for, letting me be on your show and being a part of the STiKS family. Thank all of you for watching. And I think it's awesome that Envy picked up a CSGO team. I've been playing a lot of CSGO lately, just to kind of a break from Call of Duty, and it's a great game. It took me a little bit to get used to it, but I've been enjoying playing it. So, yeah, that's that. We'll see you later.
Is it my go now?
Yeah, it's your go.
Right, okay. First of all, someone told me to say aluminum. That's how you say it.
Aluminium.
Aluminium.
Thank you.
There we go. That's out the way. Whoever asked it in the chat, you the real MVP. Yeah, I've been Alex. Also known as Rage. Thank you a lot for having me. I'll be casting this weekend coming up at an event called Am2 Pro. So if, on the off chance you are there, make sure you come and say hi to me. I'll be repping the STiKS hoodie. And obviously, if you're not there, tune into the stream. You'll probably see me quite a bit. This handsome face. But yeah, so obviously make sure you check out. Make sure you stay tuned for the STiKS EU coming soon because it's a great show. Obviously, I'm presenting it, so. It's got to be good. It's got to be good. It's better than that guy. Is it that way? It's that way. Maybe it's that way. No, it's better than that guy over there in the corner. So check that out. And yeah, I'll see you.
I wish I could see the camera right here.
Hashtag dropped.
You're done. Wah wah wah.
Rage is like, what's funny? I'm not laughing. Go ahead, Landon.
All right, guys. It's your dude, it's your pal, it's your friend, it's your bro. It's been Landon Calrissian. Shout out to all the sponsors I don't have yet. We'll be in contact soon.
Landon Calrissian.
I want to give a shout out to, I know a lot of people might not know who this is. I believe his name is Monty Ohm. He was one of the directors of Ruby on Rooster Teeth. I don't know if anyone knows that, but he was a really, really cool guy. I know I didn't want to sadden the show, but he was awesome. And rest in peace, bro. But yeah, that's it for me. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Thank you guys for having me on the show. Thanks to everyone who came out. And hashtag Rostermania Squad.
My name is Kingdom Soldier. I appreciate all the love you guys have been showing me. I know, for those of you that subscribe to my YouTube channel, and since I have like 6 times as many subscribers on there that I do followers on here, I'm sure a lot of you have subscribed at least to my content. I know it's been kind of like, well, when is this going to come out, and what are you doing with this, and where's the COD profile? Just to give you guys an update, like, doing the STiKS takes up a lot of my mental time and a lot of the planning that Goalie and I are doing for the year and kind of what we want to accomplish. And the STiKS is not going to be the only thing I do long term. My personal channel will continue to exist. Best competitive vids. I have fought to make sure that comes out every weekend. And then as far as profiles and things like that, Sharp is coming up. I sent him some questions and he sent them back to me. So I got some pretty cool intel for you guys that you might not know about Sharp that he was able to give me. So that'll be coming out in the near future. Yes, TKS will resurrect. It will come back. I love that series as much as you guys do. It's just very time consuming for me to do that series because I'm talking about personal stuff and I want to make sure that I'm doing it in a timeline fashion, all that. So
can I have a request for that?
What?
When you do the one about you and your wife, I want your wife to be there.
Okay, I can do that. And she's going to actually be playing a game with me on stream. I haven't announced it yet. You guys, awesome. If you search for Kingdom and Wifey on YouTube. We actually played Borderlands together on.
You know what you should search on YouTube as well? You should search iRage on YouTube as well. Check out that channel. Hit that subscribe button.
We did, yeah. Kingdom Story. That's what I was talking about, Cookie. So anyway, the other thing I want to tell you guys, the 200 of you that are still watching, and 3 of you in the chat as well, is that I hope I didn't sound like I was complaining about people DMing me and all that. Like, I'm not anything important. You know, I'm just a person, just like the rest of you guys, and I actually like helping people. That's pretty much the only reason I still do this. If I could not help, like, Fatty to have a happy Monday, and
it's my favorite thing,
Rage to do something outside of casting and to stay and maybe even build some more relevance for himself in the community, for Landon to have something to springboard himself, because he's going to do his own, Landon's going to blow up, and Hitch as well, and to see the success that Goalie's had, and he's got other people hitting him up to try to help them produce, and to see the success that these guys are having in the scene, and the up-and-comers we have that you guys haven't even met yet. Like, to be able to help, and I see Deadly Creator and how popular he is on Twitter, and to think that, he had like 100 subs when I shared his video, his optic montage or whatever with people. That's what makes me happy. That's why I do this. It's ultimately to see the rest of you guys be successful. And so tweet at me, ask me to watch your video, whatever. I'm not, I don't rage about it. I just am saying that it happens so much because people want to succeed so bad. And if I could give you any advice, just stick to the script. Don't try to deviate. Don't try to skip steps. Be the turtle, not the hare. Just as fast as you can go that fast. And just like the turtle and the hare, they both at some point reach the finish. Like, you're going to get to where you're supposed to go if you just stay on target. Just continue to walk. Don't walk off to the right thinking you're going to be able to take a shortcut. Just stay on the path. So that's my advice for you guys. This is your boy Kingdom Soldier, and Roster Mania, and Rage with his British cup, and Fatty, even though Rage has no T, hashtag fake cup, not really drinking the whole show. We'll see you guys next week on the STiKS, same time, same channel. And we're not confirmed for the 1v1 tomorrow, so just watch Twitter and we'll let you guys know who's going to be on. Peace.